Alright, Shalom, brothers, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors goes to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, for whom I learned the truth, and much love and peace and blessings goes out to all the hopeful elect that are teaching the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, as well as those brothers and sisters that are out there listening and repenting, coming back to your God, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. So basically, this is going to be a lesson. I'm going to entitle it the Rfid chip, Rfid microchip. It will be the welcome solution to end the chaos. Hence the phrase "order ab chaos," right? Because what's happening in America behind the coronavirus and all these nationwide protests that are mostly being set up by Asian provocateurs that are inciting violence, but you also have simpletons out there, like a lot of simple so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans that are following suit and taking part in the rioting and a lot of the chaos itself. So America is just in a almost complete state of chaos. You got a certain sense of normalcy on the weekdays and shit like that. Now people going to and from work and shit like that. But on one hand, as far as what's being reported, it's just nothing but chaos. And a lot of people are even more nerve-wracked now that this situation happened behind these protests. So now this is a perfect context and a perfect way to slide in the Rfid microchip, because we all know that this is the agenda of the elites, to eventually be able to Rfid chip everyone, so they can control all forms of money, how people buy and sell, or whether they're selling their own goods or buying from another person, so they can be taxed properly and they can also be tracked. There's also even reports that the Rfid microchip can change your biology, can change the way you think and things like that. So these are the plans of the elite, so they can have total dominant control over the entire earth. So they're implementing this agenda as we speak. The agenda is being implemented as we speak. So you have a lot of people, like I mentioned, being uneasy. They're nerve-wracked. So what they're gonna do is, when Esau finally introduces the Rfid microchip as a solution, right? Because he'll label you a domestic terrorist if you don't take it, and he will also bring some type of relief, quote unquote relief in his eyes. What he's trying to sell you, he'll say that it's to relieve you, to give you maybe say $2,000 a month, because there's still, I said $2,000 a month. So it will be appealing to you, so you can accept it willingly. And most of the world is going to accept the Rfid microchip willingly, man. They're going to accept it. But the elect, as it's spoken, the elect of Yahweh Shem Yahushai will not take the Rfid microchip. The men, women, and even the children that are slaughtered for salvation. But it starts with the prophets of the Lord, because the prophets of the Lord are going to set the example of having faith in these last days, because there's a scripture that goes into it, says, I've reserved 7,000 men who shall not bow knee to Baal, meaning there's a complete number of men within the nation of Israel who's not, falling for all the scandals and shit that's happening on right now. They're not falling for the agenda. They're not falling for the narrative which is being painted by Esau, Edom. All the lies and deception, we see clearly through it. It's just Esau, Revelation 12:12, he's coming down with great wrath, because he knows that his kingdom is almost over. He knows that Yahushua is on the way. Yahushua is coming back. So another reason why they're starting to speed up this agenda is because the chariot sightings, which are sightings of what they call UFOs, right? Because the UFOs are the vehicles of the angels, and it was also said on a NASA broadcast that there was a UFO that they seen that's bigger than the entire Earth. that's on its way to Earth. So that's big, that's heavy, that's a game-changing event, man. To where now we see the fruits of that. The elites are ramping up their agenda. They're trying very quickly to get the entire world obedient to the New World Order system. And a lot of people already are, because generations ago they planted the seeds of like feminism, homosexuality, godlessness, things like that. But all that's left for them to have people get comfortable with is the idea of having an RFID implant in you. You know what I'm saying? Esau done already split his doctrine across the earth, where he has people think that they're black and white and yellow and green, Crayola box nationalities and shit, and so forth. But so all that's next for them to do is condition the people, create a chaotic event that's going to justify them and even look appealing to most people to take the RFID microchip. And that's Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 coming to pass. All right, because also when that happens, RFID microchip is finally advertised and it's finally made mandatory in America. That's when all the nation's armies are going to gather into the Valley of Yehoshaphat, out there in the Middle East, the Valley of Jehoshaphat, to fight World War III. And that's also around the time right before those armies gather. Israel is going to invade Iran, the quote-unquote country, the state of Israel. They're going to invade Iran, which is just going to set up a domino effect of all these nations coming against each other, you know, because of the underlying alliances that those two countries have with other major world powers. You know, so this is all prophecy kicking off. You know, also prophecy is going to happen. How about Shimei Shai is going to release demons, man. Release demons and spirits and ghosts that people are going to see, weird creatures that's going to be eating motherfuckers, man. You're going to have a lot of women getting raped. You're going to have the men of the Lord get raised up with spiritual powers. The very same men you see on these videos that are cursing out the so-called white men, that have been doing so for years now, are going to have the power to fly, teleport, control fire, earth, wind, water, control the animals. You know, it's going to be crazy. You're going to have a lot of people also getting put to death by the so-called white man, his martial law troops. So it's going to be a very chaotic event that's going to ultimately lead to the destruction of America. And that Pandora's box of an event, so to speak, will be unleashed when the RFID chip is made mandatory. And we see chaos happening now, so it's only going to get worse, because it seemed to be like things were kind of heading towards some normalcy when they started saying that the country is opening back up from, you know, flattening the curve from coronavirus, because that was a crazy event in itself. But now you got all these goddamn protests and riots and pillaging and many race wars happening all across America. The epicenter of it is places like New York and Chicago and LA and cities in Texas. The major cities is crazy right now, you know. So it's going to get worse. How about Shimei Shai is going to completely dismantle America, because you got to remember, this is the place that completely destroyed and oppressed the Israelites for hundreds of years. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have been oppressed in this country for hundreds of years, because you're the Israelites. So look, all this judgment that's happening, all this shit going on right now is the judgment of Babylon, because America is Babylon, man. America is because Babal, Babylon goes back to a word in Hebrew, which is Babal, and it means confusion. Okay, so it's gonna get worse, man. Things are gonna start happening one after another, boom, 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 and things are gonna happen in our personal lives, brothers and me. As far as you brothers and sisters that are out there listening, you may start losing your jobs. You may even get locked up, facing the death penalty, to be put to death for what you believe in, but it's okay, man. Keep faith. Always pray and fast and believe in Yahweh Shem Yahshai, and have sincere, fervent love for your brethren and towards the Most High. And you can't fail with that. You can't fail with love to the Most High, because if you love the Most High, that's a sign that He is dealing with you. So He's going to chastise you and have you go through these situations to test your faith, and ultimately to strengthen your faith and build up that inner man within you, or inner woman, as it may be, so you can be worthy of what He's going to do for you, which is save you, which is come over here and send His Son Yahweh Shai back to gather all His elect, all His remnant, man. And it's going to be beautiful. This is this is what everything is leading to, man. So Barakatah, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, that all these things which we have been prophesied and hoping for years is finally kicking off, man. This is crazy right now. But you know, things will get much more turbulent, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, we have help, man. We have much help in the heavens that these people don't have, man. They're bugging out. And this is not the time for us to bug out. We're just stay solid in the faith, man. Stay level-headed, cool, and collective, and circumspect, and think 3 moves ahead of what before whatever the fuck you do, man. Pray for the spirit of the Most High. Pray for the spirit of wisdom. Pray for the spirit of faith and endurance, and we'll get through this together, man. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.